You ever watch something where you literally have to just translate and analyze everything yourself because nothing is fully described? If so, then Immorality will be right up your alley. What's up, guys? Funar Lover 47 and welcome to Watch for the Plot. What I essentially do is stroll through the catacombs of the darkest parts of the internet to find animated erotic videos and then criticize them on the internet because no one else wants to know about them in the world. But if you do, subscribe for more. Boys! So, my source only has 2 episodes, but I know for a fact that there are more. So, should I go look them up? Probably, but I can't be bothered, so here we are. This story basically follows from what I can assume, because they don't outright tell you, from what I can assume is a vampire, succubi, werewolf main character named Sayoko. And I also guess I have to explain what the hell I just said there before I can even get into the plot, Okay, so she's a succubi, and it's the same policy as in Viper GTS. Once she fucks someone, she takes their soul and they will die. Because no soul, no host, head empty, no thoughts. She is also a vampire, or at least some characteristics of one are in her character, because she gains full capabilities of supernatural powers during the nighttime, after a night session of course. And she's also part werewolf because during the full moon, her blood boils and she becomes even more access to her supernatural powers, and once she's under the full moon, she also becomes semi-conscious and goes in autopilot mode. And this fulfills the succubi side of her because she will drain anyone near her vicinity, thus increasing her powers even more. I have no idea how they made her powers so cohesive for a 2-episode hentai. I'm pretty sure they didn't mean it to happen so seamlessly. You know what? Let's try to move on before I get lost in the epistemology of her powers any more than I already have. So Sayako is working for an organization that's pretty much like Killer Bean's legal assassination ring, where they also moonlight as drug busters. And Sayako's first mission is episode 1. So there's gonna be a lot of sex. Coomers, this might be a show for you. 5 minutes after said scene, we come to find out that Sayako was doing that to extract information from said students to find the source of the drug killer she was looking for. And the person who gave her this assignment in the first place was named Mito. Now, did Mito tell her to go about the assignment the way she did? No. But does Mito know about Sayako's powers? Yes. So is Mito slightly implying that Sayako should go about it this way to find her? Yes, okay? She's trying to get this drugs out. Bad guys, bad drugs are bad, get them off the streets. While looking for said dealer, Sayako is confronted by the principal of the school, who's eerily suspicious because one of the first rules she tells Sayako as a new employee is to not copulate with the students. And this is a red flag alert, because if someone brings up a really weird subject out of the blue like that, with nothing warranting it at all, rest assured they are participating in said activity that they mentioned without provocation. She fucks students. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? The principal fucks. So after giving Sayako a love tap, she sends her off. And then immediately after that, the next day, boom, 2 students are dead. So clearly, she's bad at undercover work. If you're going to have sex with these students as a means of interrogation, at least control yourself to not kill them and raise suspicion. I mean, I'm not crazy for mentioning this, am I? So after being questioned, she gets away scot-free and now has info about the drugs. Mission accomplished. Now on to the next one. But before she can get to talking to Mito about the next job, one of her simps pulls up in her nurse's office where she's, undercover at, and is being really nice and asking a bunch of questions and shit. And when Sayako asks Junichi, his name's Junichi by the way, what he knows about the principal, Jun gets triggered and says, well, gosh, do you like her more than me or something? Sayako realizes she's being a bit too eager and backs off from the conversation. But now Jun is determined to flip the school over for more information to his precious Sayako. And one of the first ways he can do this, apparently, is by going and spying through the principal's office after hours, or someplace where there's beds in the school. I don't know. Anyway, he just looks around and sees the higher ups of the school and the principal going at it. And apparently, right, there are guards around, because the moment he finishes watching them both, he has a gun to his face. I mean, either these are the worst guards of all time, or no, that's gotta be it. Because how can a loud, clumsy ass high schooler sneak onto campus and go watch the only place you're supposed to be guarding? You deserve this. So who hit him? Well, hours before this happened, Mito assigned Sayoko, again Mito's her boss, to another assignment, and it was to kill a woman involved with this after-school sex ring named Aiko. So the person who hit the security guard was Sayoko. Not that shocking, to be honest. Sayoko saves Junichi, gets a literal knife in the back, and leaves him. Now Ayako and the rest of the higher-ups are suspicious of Sayoko because they immediately deduce that she was the woman behind the mask. Guess this BDSM shit did not work, huh? And take a wild guess how this episode ends.
それってやつかい？お姉ちゃん？
俺たちさ、今すげえ飢えてんだよね。
そう。ちょうどよかったわ。
私も飢えてたの。
Episode 2. So the intensity does not stop at all. There is so much to unpack from so little that was given to me, it's quite baffling. So now that Sayako's cover is blown, Mito wants to pull it out. However, due to her coming to her senses, and just overall feelings towards June, she doesn't want to leave yet. So Sayako is in enemy territory where they know she is an op and is given an option to pull out, yet she doesn't. I can't tell if she's brave or completely stupid. So after that meeting, they're gonna introduce a new character in June's class called Yuka. And Yuka is keeping an eye on June because he's friendly with Yuka's opposition, i.e. Sayako. So now they know the extent of Sayako's powers and are trying to extract that said power and reanimate their own clone version of Sayako. That doesn't go against their orders, you know, a slave. And the best way to go about extracting her blood is waiting until the full moon, because essentially what they're waiting for is for her to go into heat and follow her around until she takes some souls and is exhausted, and then pounce on her once she's exhausted and vulnerable. Now the plan Kirika has to extract blood is to have a slave by her side who is completely buffed up, has like +5 strength, and completely overpower Sayako, and have them going at it until she's exhausted. And once they're done, Sayako's caught off guard, her blood is extracted, and Kirika gets to walk away scotch-free, unscathed, while Sayako is just, again, fainting from exhaustion. June, out of nowhere, walking around campus at like 2 a.m. What is wrong with this man? He comes to her rescue and takes her butt-ass naked to his house. Now here's where it gets a bit convoluted if it hasn't already. So when she's in June's house. I mean, June is a simp to the highest degree. However, he doesn't want to fuck her for some reason. I'm not saying he has to, but he's been filming her breasts and hiding underneath her beds to watch her work. So I can only assume he was obsessed because he wanted to coom. But apparently he shows her a picture of his mother. Yes, his mother, and take a walk. Nope, not even giving you the option. Sayako looks identical to June's mom, and once she sees the image, her semi-conscious full moon state is starting to snap, and she's having some sort of connection with the photo in front of her. Do they describe that moment any further? Do they explain why Sayako had a painful PTSD flashback looking at June's mother? Nope, no Maggies. After looking at that image, she's back to being comatose and doesn't come to until about a month later, i.e. another full moon. And the reason I assume she had a disconnect while looking at June's mom's picture is because she is June's mom, but she doesn't realize she's June's mom. That's my assumption. I've had to make a lot of assumptions in these reviews as of lately, but no one's giving me any credit at all. June does not know about the full moon shit at all. So on the day that she wakes up, Yuka pulls up and eavesdrops, and Yuka instantly exposes her hand by saying she knows about Sayoko. So Sayako, that night, again, she wakes up, like I said before. She wakes up, and turns into a rabid beast that chokeholds June and essentially snaps this man's neck, or is on the verge of doing that. And at this point, she is completely unconscious, and her carnal form is out for blood. And right at that moment, where she was about to make this man's brain fluid leak out of his ears, Yuka comes to rescue him by doing some like blah 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 chant seance bullshit. And then after rescuing him, right, she talks to him a little bit, come to find out that June knows everything about Sayako. So Yuko's like, oh, okay, so you know too much. I'm gonna kill you now. Yeah, kind of crazy. And right when she was about to kill him, after saving him, Sayako comes to and says, hey, don't kill him. He's mine. I'll protect him. Yuka's like, fine. She backs off. So that means she wasn't on the principal's side. She must have been some neutral party, I guess. From where? I don't know. This is the last scene. And all it shows after the confrontation with Yuka and Yuka leaving is Sayako craving life essence. And then the end. I have many questions that will never be answered in my lifetime, I assume, unless I bother looking it up, but I'm so lazy I would never look this up ever again. Unless, again, of course, it bothers me, or you guys fucking watch the video. Either way, it was a watch. So that was Immorality. All I gotta say is that this show is one long bruh moment. Let's just say I won't be surprised if I don't have any B-roll footage when I'm editing this, because there was that much succubi action going on in this show. It's quite indecent, to say the least. Alright guys, I don't have an outro, but if I did, it wouldn't matter because no one makes it this far into the video. Good night.